again this year. You know, on the other hand, though, you've got Envy. It's been more than turbulent in this stage. But I look at someone like Kesnet. He's been in a situation like this before. You remember 2023, 09, throughout the regular season with Crew. Still wins the LCQ to make champs. Listen, he knows how to do it, but he's going to have to get in that level of form.
Straight away over towards this A side of the map, and NRG characteristically wider, offering a bit of space. But Kesnet is quite happy to make some use of it, and Brock is heavily disrupted.
He's just fighting in front of the wall on his lonesome, picked off by Kiko. And now Envy on the retreat, just Knights in the site. They're going to have to work a different part of this map. Wow, they're playing for lineups even. Look at Rossi, he's all the way back in the spawn. Oh, a little combo with the shock dart.
Cringe mode activated. Now, of course, the Marber is actually off the table right now, so no chance to mitigate this stall utility. Kiko going to have a peek. Been a pretty gainful pistol for him to start things off. Always looking dangerous when he gets a chance to play Duelist. And that's one thing you fear about going up against this team on Breeze.
It's been a consistent map for them. You go back to the start of this stage. First game against MIBR here. Looks like the series is lost. It's map 2. They're down 2-10. And then they come back and win 13-11. They're just
something about NRG and 2-10 comebacks, Wyatt.
Yeah, there really is.
Kiko here just floating around the site.
One enemy remaining.
Looking very comfortable. This, of course,
Come on, Gio. Let's go, bro.
is an NRG map pick.
Hopefully he, you know, did that after the camera cut, got the fist pumping. Just imagine it worked out, man.
Oh, okay, not ideal. Kiko able to get ahead of the game.
Yeah, Molly's there to force him off the line, but just a little bit late.
And it's Knights. Falling, who to me was the standout player on Envy last week. Showing us a bit of Yoru, which teams are tending to stray away from lately.
Yeah, in that match one against Furia, he put himself on the map. That was a star-making performance in his debut stage.
You know, to me, he didn't look like he was barely hanging on. Like, he wasn't white-knuckled grip on the mouse. It looked like he's really starting to find some confidence, realizing that he does belong here.
Yeah, any nerves that you might have seen in those first couple of weeks, not there at all. He was just playing with maxed out confidence. Now this map, though, I'm just interested, to see what Envy kind of got cooked up with the comp switch, because you remember when they played this against EG, it was their first match this stage. Demon 1 was playing Phoenix, kind of left a lot to be desired. You had Kesnet on the Jet, more kind of historically standard pick here. Now swapping over to the Neon is able to at least deal with Kiko, but it shouldn't be too much trouble for NRG to clean up.
Oh, a little bit ham-fisted there for Brock. The Guardian can treat you like that sometimes, though.
Yeah, it feels like Envy have come in with a harder hitting comp for sure when it comes down to these site executes. The Neon instead of the Jet and everything at Yoru, you could really pounce on some of those anchoring players. And then when the side swaps to defense, they're going to be so effective at being able to rotate quickly to the right sites to be able to flood defend. So it feels like there's some solid upside here, especially when, you've got a guy like Knights who displayed that even post-nerf, he can go crazy on the Yoru.
It doesn't feel like some garden variety, like awkward attempt to stick Demon 1 on Chamber again and try and find another controller elsewhere in your comp. Seems like there's a lot of thought behind this setup for Envy.
Look at the pressure on Kiko, serious danger. He has to try to dash to get away, but he might get cut off, Demon 1 just playing back towards B.
A lot of map control to work with now for Envy.
And they're fine just slowing the game down in this moment. A ton of time to work with. And look at that from Rossi. Picks up Ethan, who was pushing through A main.
Take flight.
Systematically, Envy working the map. Obviously, this is NRG bonus, which is a little underbought in terms of the more powerful weapons.
We just need to see Envy with some competent trading here to win out this round. They got it in their hands.
That was enough to get Glyph off the plant. That should be very telling for Brock. Into the Cove. I imagine we're going to be bursting out in a moment. Okay, a little bit awkward there. Kesnet caught wanting there. 3 players trained on his position. It's up to Scooby here to salvage the situation. Couldn't ask for a more competent individual, but Demon 1. Feels like when opponents walk into his crosshair, he never misses.
Got pretty dangerous there with NRG just tucked away in the cove, waiting for it to drop. That really caught those Envy players on site off guard. Yeah, especially a Glyph who was just so damaged up. But hey, Envy already on the board. Looking at them, that's a sick shot. I mean, hey, listen, bringing back to last week, that was Demon One's best map at the stage so far, or match of the stage, rather. The chamber games he had were sick.
Let's go,
he goes
boys.
like
Let's go.
plus 15 kills to death on the 2 maps that he played chamber.
Honestly, the first kill, first death ratio for both him and Knights was very good last week. But I don't mind this idea of putting him on Astra and just having him be a bit of an anchor on this attack side. Could say the same for Rossi, waiting for this guaranteed Kiko push up on the A side.
Even though it still feels funny to see Demon One on Astra sometimes, bring it all the way back to that EG team. He picked it up sometimes when he was playing with Ethan in 2023. Here's Envy geared up for this B. Execute. Walls going in. Kesnet wants to get deep into the site, but denied by Brock straight away.
Yeah, spray down through the smoke for Brock. Easy enough to find the pick, and now it is a high tide to try and give Brock that pocket to play from. Scoop has already been picked off. Brock's looking to get past the one-way. This could be a little bit funky for Demon One. Oh, Shock Dart takes him low. Mata, though, going to be getting aggressive on the side here. NRG already looking to take some space. Demon One doesn't really know where he should be looking at the moment. Pops up, though, and finds Mata. Quickly dealt with, but the response comes from Kiko instantly. Knights is very low, trying to play into the Blade Storm from that kind of range. Rossi, though, at least is good for it, but in no position to fight 2v1. It's going to be awkward, and Ethan waits on the line.
That HP was just dreadful for Envy when I came down to that 3v4 kind of situation. Super lit up. NRG are great on these retakes. Ethan on the KO is just always a fantastic watch. Probably is the best KO in the world. I guess hard to debate against that. It's just his agent.
You squeeze so much value out of Ethan's util. It's astonishing.
Yeah, it's both the combination of how good he is at setting up his teammates with it, but also always enables him to get his individual moments as well.
Now Envy, of course, fold Glyph in here to aid with that mid-round calling. Things fall apart from them in the previous round. But that's something I want to listen out for. We get a chance to listen in to Envy Wyatt right now. Let's hear what the comms are like.
He's joining me already.
Okay. He's joining.
That's the TP, don't worry.
It's on me, it's on me. At the TP away, at the TP away.
Okay. I can drone doors right now. Just leave Max there. Can you open orb for Max?
Yeah, can you
Drone?
Hopping doors.
Shift
KO.
doors.
Yeah, KO
I
drop.
want to shift towards B, guys.
Yeah, shift towards B.
Pen it down. Where was the op?
It was B. Yeah.
Mid doors.
Wait, we should pump for Max. Just pump for Max.
I don't have any use of the bomb.
I have my wall. It's okay. You have drone? What do you have?
Use it.
Walk down
Okay, now.
window.
They mined us just now.
Just wait for the molly.
Window
5
now.
seconds on dart.
I'm gonna walk close for us, okay?
Facing.
Q wall.
You're not there.
Yeah, wall, let's go.
I've dart 1 second. Hold on. Darting now.
Those guys always offside.
Nothing pillar.
Left side.
Right here.
Can't see dart.
Dart.
Waiting for dart. Let's
You're on
swing
the same
right.
side of the wall.
Let's swing right.
I'm facing.
Let's see. Good plan.
Keep flat. Keep flat.
Careful, close right, guys. Emo. Can be walking emo.
So
One's out fall. One out fall.
Okay. Let's see now. Playing
Harbor.
harbor.
Missing jet.
Heard.
Jet was window, I think.
You see me?
I don't think so.
John.
You fail. Now
You're on play? Wait, oh, okay.
Painful to watch Knights and Glyph on site there, just slowly surrounded by NRG. No options left. Earlier in that round, and we saw it in the last round too, though, credit to NRG and Brock, who have been able to really deny Kesnet. He was trying to get up mid. That recon dart came through. They weren't able to break it, kind of obscured by his own fast lane. Takes a ton of damage. He's killed by Ethan on the retreat. And yeah, that previous round, he's trying to get in off the wall, gets spammed down by Brock. They've done a really effective job at dealing with Kesnet so far.
A lot of ping pong between Glyph and Rossi in that mid-round. With Kesnet chiming in about gaps as well. It's a good sign here for Envy, but they're trailing. Kiko here, obviously mindful that Knights is going to be pushed up, but Ethan's going to be there to meet him straight away into the null command here. This is very disruptive, and Scuba's waiting to punish this. They just walk straight past him. Oh, it's a disaster. That is so brutal. And an investment there with the aura wall for Envy, it's just completely unraveled.
And whatever the plans laid there for Envy on that execute that they had really went out the window. I was expecting to see a little bit more, but the existence of Ethan and that null command's presence really just shut down any ideas that Envy had for the hit. You know, if Ethan isn't there, maybe they get that Hunter's Fury off with it, but there's no point in using that. Ethan is just going to use the null command and get rid of any ults immediately. So Envy, a little bit more gimmicky, a little more Danby-esque, and it felt like that kind of threw off his flow of the game for a period of time, but I've loved his Neon in Stage 2. I think he's really bounced back. He's looked excellent. And it's always fun to watch him just pick up the Harbor on the off-map as well.
So 0 point here comes at a pretty early timing for Ethan, and just spots out this entire Envy setup. They're going to stay. They've got some contingency and some mid-presence. His Artist Fury being laid down by Glyph, though. Ethan is going to have to be dodging and ducking away from this one. Is eventually tagged out, but healthy enough. Nope.
Great stun into the TP.
Clutch him
That's
instantly.
a great play.
A lot of util involved in that elimination. Kaizen here respecting this Harbor util coming through, but it's going to be tough to play into the Reckoning. Here comes Knights, so at least able to find one, but the follow-up on that Harbor ultimate is brutal. Kaizen's going to be forced on back. Speculating here through that wall. Rossi trying to hold up next to him. We're down to a 2v2 and plenty of noise has been made here for NRG, but man, they have stitched this together beautifully.
Oh, look at that HP though, it's horrific for NRG. Real shot for Demon 1 to close this round out.
Double swing though might be all that NRG need. Making a bit of noise, happy to try and tease
30 seconds
Demon 1
left.
out onto one of these sight lines.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, that's not bad, he's broken this up nicely. Your 2023 World Champion still reaching for the echoes of that kind of glory. That's the way to get started. Then a bit of wind in your sails. The Red Bull clutch here for Demon 1.
Really sick round though from Envy out of that timeout. Felt like some of the ideas that they had from the last round that got disrupted by the null command. Well, they lost a couple tools there, but in the timeout, they're able to still put together a beautiful execute. Look at that stun that comes backside from Kesnet, which, you know, is placed via the info from Glyph, the Hunter's Fury, and the Knights with the TP in to capitalize.
Nice!
That's a really stunning round.
Let's go, guys. Nice job, Max.
Honestly, a good indicator that Envy are making some serious progress as a team. Love to see that.
And it feels like a proof of concept for the Yoru. Knights, the tip of the spear all of a sudden for Envy's paying off.
Cutting through.
So we are aggressively into top mid this round for the attack side.
Rossi's trying to control over towards A on the opposite side of the map. Could have been an engagement there. This is an NRG with a lack of map control. Look at this hit from Envy, trying to go into this A side from plenty of different angles, but lacking a main control is going to be tough.
Amada is just anchoring so effectively from this spot. Damage has already been done. Ethan knows he can play off this. Ideally, he wants to buy time and stay alive, but he's bought enough for Kiko to arrive. Making his way into the back of the site. Kiko can take a timing out of the smoke. If Rossi takes contact, it should be a freebie though for the Viper, and it is. Kiko a little bit too slow off this, and now, okay, I like the impromptu tox screen coming up midway through this hit. This is going to create the space now for Envy to try and make something happen from this, but Demon 1 is lit.
Able to get that plant down, but Envy suffocated on the site. They want to get some space elsewhere. They can't cross. They know that that Outlaw is watching. So realistically, where can they go?
It is going to be a Viper's pit choice for Rossi. Give them a bit more breathing room here so they're not just pinned down behind this pillar. Edge of the smoke, okay. Looks like they tried to call a timing there, but didn't expect the literal firing squad to be present.
Yeah, just hoping to catch one player unaware. NRG posted up. I just hear Brock on stage. I was not ready for that. But they still got it.
Nor was
Luckily, they
I,
got
frankly.
all three of them. I like the idea of the execute, trying to get all the way up mid. They're through Nest, that fast lane to cross. They're crunching onto A from so many different angles, but really the pivotal moment earlier in the round is that NRG, they opted to control A main there. It forced Rossi all the way back, so they aren't getting pinched from all angles. They weren't having to worry about that side of the map, and they could just focus on Envy coming from the north side of the map.
And this performance so far from Envy is about the polar opposite from what we saw at the end of Stage 1. The same situation. Nothing left to lose, really. Just get out there and do your best. But a different roster and a very different philosophy about how they want to end this stage as opposed to Stage 1.
Yeah, for me, I'm watching this team. I think their goal today is progress. Signs of improvement. Because for them, it's about playing. It's about making a run when those begin.
It's kind of weird to frame this as a game that you can lose and still feel good about.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, though, it's NRG. And an NRG that just beat Leviathan last week. So if we can just, come away with this seeing a competitive Envy, and also, within that, you would hope an Envy that are going to continue to build confidence, even maybe in a loss, after getting that win against Furia. A proof of concept that this team can work. That is something that they desperately needed, and they got that validation. It's just about building on it at this point.
It's going to be tough to get the better of in a situation like that. Envy just walk up, take an opportunity through B main, and are sent packing. It does feel like Envy are almost looking at what they're trying to become across the stage in a game like this. NRG might be one of the most finished, complete outfits that we have here in Americas. And Envy have been pretty vocal about wanting to become that kind of structured outfit whose average garden variety performance is still, well above what we've seen from them so far.
It's wild that Envy looks so complete too in a meta that on paper doesn't feel great for them when you're still trying to play double duelist. Here comes Envy trying to run another fast exec with this drift. Being stalled out just a bit by Brock.
Okay, they might try and play out of this, drift emergence inside A main, and in they come. Ethan trying to play the off angle, sees the clone, and ducks back into a smoke. Kiko with a very safe angle.
There is that double wall up. Can Envy actually press forward and try to take some space?
We haven't seen the high tide yet for Mada. That'll be telling, I think.
A lot of pressure on Kesnet. He has been left in this site essentially alone.
Might play off the drone here, Wyatt. He also has the Aura with him. Knights is playing off him, like we've seen them do top mid in the last couple of rounds. Are we full retake protocol here? Look at the cringe setup is already in place here for Envy.
Everybody from Envy offsite, except for Knights, who's just waiting for this harbor wall to drop. All this util, just forcing NRG up the defuse.
Okay, 0 point. Is there a window here to turn this into something? Mada on the defuse now. Can you stop this guy? Please tell me you can! Ethan's able to find 4. Did that 1-0 point really shut down their ability to contest?
That is unfortunate.
Did he really just
to
gut them?
say the least.
I need to see that run back, please.
Unfortunately, Envy, they are 0 for 2 on the cringe attempts over towards A.
Okay, the 0 point.
God.
The 0 point only
nasty.
caught one player, Wyatt. It's just Ethan.
I think they just
walking
ran out of util, but I was kind of hoping instead Envy would play for more of a rewrap maybe towards mid and try to fight some more players on site to give standing out to me, even though Scuba joining stage 2, he's got 68 games with him already.
Series.
I mean, I guess
series, brother.
I guess we're already pretty far through this year, but that feels crazy.
Life accelerates after 30,
I mean, man, they are just, I guess that's what happens when you qualify for every single event and are one of the most consistent teams globally. You actually do play a lot of Valorant.
There's so much value in those reps, though. Scuba, lucky to be alive off this. He can even slow things down. Kiko finding Rossi.
That felt like the opportunity for Envy, and they're trying to force their way into this site, but the timings are just not there, and Scuba is able to exploit it.
Okay, they face up, seeing an opportunity to walk in amidst this YouTube, but Brock is ready to sit Kesnet down. Oh man, that wasn't even close, guys. Brutal stuff. It's on Demon 1. Very good player at punishing positional errors, but he was the one completely caught out and surrounded.
Couldn't even hear it from Kiko's point of view. I think this is another round for me where you can see the plans from Envy that they have cooked up. They know how they want to execute the site with the wall, but the timing's not completely there. That earlier pick that NRG finds brutal on top of it. Just tightening up a couple things. A few small decisions going in a different direction. Yeah. And I think we could see Envy with a few more rounds on the board here.
It looks bad, but that's because we're dealing with an NRG who are
they're
some of the best at punishing this.
Yeah, you make a tiny mistake against NRG, the round is done. They have exploited that immediately. And that's what happens there. It's Scuba's at 30 HP, and he's still able to lock
Balls
down the
back,
site
still
with the
finds
kill.
a frag. It's messed up.
Crazy.
Consistently so hard to dig out of this spot on the B side. If you're going to try and hit it yet again, just walk straight up into main, but Scuba will be waiting. He's in the corner. He gets a big ping, but Kesnet actually sprays that spot and catches him out. Brook in out with the Reckoning coming across the site. Might try and get to this back corner before Envy can, but caught inside a bunch of util. And gets away with it because it's just a sting. It's a hand. But Glyphie with the Guardian is able to deal with the Marber.
Kiko on the flank. He's been deadly with the Outlaw. Gets another. And Brock plays off the back of that. Finds the moment to get into the site.
Two players that are one-shots here to the Outlaw. And Brock is happy to slow the game down. 40 seconds in the round. Rossi, this is a nice rewrap, but there's just nothing to see. How's he supposed to clear this corner? Use a snake bite on that? I feel like that's unlikely. But he's thinking about it.
30 seconds left.
If he's patient enough, Kiko might show, but there needs to be a plant here, and that nicely done by Rossi. Able to swing on out and get it done.
Nice. I like this last round from Envy, especially you saw when the Reckoning came in. They had 3 players all dodge it out, but on top of that, it wasn't just some dry swing back sight. They had a stun come through, a flash to swing off while they're dodging it, and that's what, took Brock down to 30 HP. Felt like that should have been a kill. That is so funny from Scuba to try to tuck in that corner there for respect. But yeah, some good stuff from Envy in that last round. I think they've put together some quality rounds in this game. Some missing, some... Heading back into Breeze, I'm just taking a look at this NRG pistol round win rate. The 65%, 11 for 6. That is crazy.
It's pretty rare to see one like this.
Yeah, that is sick.
At 0 point would have been a little problematic for our friend Knight, so he gate crashes out early from elbow.
Envy looking intent on adding some proactivity to this pistol round to reduce that 65 percentage by a few points. They've taken a main. That's with a trio of players. Look at this, already calling the rotate. You know, to some extent, the other two Envy defenders, they've made their way up mid, heading towards Nest. Could get to A quickly if this hit comes in.
Envy could also just rotate back through Archers and be present at B. This is a good read from NRG. Not committing to the double door play, but are they going to be ready for this stack inside A main?
Feels like they're ready to bait out some kind of swing. I mean, it is just the sixth sense from Ethan. Understands exactly what's going on.
And they do not like what they saw, or rather didn't see over at A. And they're going to end up making the correct decision. This is a piece of why this pistol round win rate is so good.
And now Envy are picking up the pace with that trio. Do NRG have the expectation for a triple flank, though? Are their brains that massive? Yes. They are planting for arches and taking spawn.
They have literally
is
flipped the map,
immaculate.
Wyatt. Basically everything that Envy tried for this round.
Do they have wall hacks?
Yeah, has been laid bare to NRG. They've made the perfect read.
Crazy.
Again, when the rubber hits the road, it's the execution that counts. But Brock has a filthy timing and so much information. Demo one's able to whip around, but now this gets a little bit hot and heavy. Ethan deals with Cliff and knows there's going to be presence coming through from mid. Mara inside the cove is able to find one, and Ethan notches his second. Now down to a 2v2, but they don't know where Scuba is. Half, and he gets off of it. That's Demon 1 with 3 in the round, and Scuba's going to be too low! 4 notched up for Demon 1. And despite being red, Envy come up with the goods.
And Demon 1 with a sick, sick round. Felt like against all odds, even though it was a 5-on-5, NRG seemed to be in full control. Nice little plan for Arches. Demon One is so aware, though, to be able to get the crosshair in place to deny Brock on like that round-winning flank. That first one, maybe the most important kill of all.
Every look that NRG threw, it was Demon One who answered it. That's insane. Bro having more impact on the Astra than on many of his chamber games in the lead up to this one. Because his brain is still the same. The aim is still intact. And we're seeing flashes of that championship pedigree that we've been looking for.
Spike down mid. One
Nice from
enemy remaining.
Kesnet. Notches the 3. And that should be more than enough in this round.
Those anti-ecos for the confidence. I like that even on a round like this, Envy, they aren't easing up. Still kind of taking the fight to them, showing some of that confidence. The duelists working together.
This half, a lot more pressure is going to be on Rossi because Stunner doesn't have any timeouts left. So that read for Envy is going to have to come from their in-game presence from Rossi and Glyph to some degree, I imagine.
I'm thinking back to when we saw Envy on this map in week 1 against EG. We were talking about some of the switches. Yeah, one of them was Knights on the Harbor. But his involvement in this team now, picking up the secondary duelist, being there with Kesnet, really feels like that's paying dividends for them.
And some confidence for Kesnet as well. Seems like he's been sorely lacking that. Perhaps a little bit too much of that for Knights, though, as he steps in and Ethan works around the corner of the one-way.
NRG finding success in the bait to get someone to swing out in main off those audio cues from the orb. Now content to just slow the pace of the game down even further. Can they find Envy making another mistake? See if a player tries to over-push to find a pick to even it up 4-on-4.
These kind of rounds test that discipline for Envy to the max.
Shutting them down.
Kind of giving away the game now. NRG look to accelerate. That's their cove in the choke. So the Reckoning is going to set them up to hit this side. Envy have a retort here, though. It's going to come from the B main direction. Rossi already overwhelmed Scuba. The Cove, though, still in position. Brock able to play ahead of that Snakebite, though, but still no plant here. They're going to have to fight this one out. And Rossi doesn't look like he has much health there out in the open. Glyph at least finds a response, but it is a player disadvantage scenario now for Envy. Glyph has to do something absolutely filthy. That is dirty. That's exactly what we're looking for. And now it's on Kiko. Spike is down in fairness, but Kiko's got his hands full. Glyph is going to link up with Keza and try and make this deterministic.
One enemy remaining.
That's not how you want to do that, though. Kiko's hearing all of this. Fully armored, fully armed. And Keza just going to stick it. You cannot be serious! What am I watching? Absolutely ice cold from Kesnet. One around to win, and that's got him smiling.
That's some vintage Kesnet, the confidence coming back in a situation like that. What a sick round from Envy. What? Brother, what was happening from the Glyph point of view? How did that kill Brock behind?
Accidentally got Brock.
Insane, and then adjust the crosshair to deal with Mata on the reswing.
Yeah, that one, yeah, mystifying for
ridiculous.
Kiko.
NRG can't afford the buy-up, though. Not going to have the full armors, but they've got the rifles, and they're in on this site. 3 Envy players on the defense. How hard do they want to commit to this?
Big anchor presence here for the defenders. Demon One's already found his first, and Glyph's able to swing that right-hand side. Here's Ethan, 1-for-1. These trades, though, this is the bread and butter for NRG wide, and they've got A-side.
Yeah, we see those pop flashes there from Ethan, the effectiveness of them. After coming in with the null command, further sets up the team to get those backside kills. It can be just so tough to anchor this A site when the full hits are coming in, even when you have multiple players in a situation like that.
The pace of the round is just too fast for Knights to get involved with this Outlaw, even if it would have been well apportioned against the under-armored NRG.
Envy have the money to go for this, though.
Ethan will have that backup from A main, but not if he takes such a wide angle. There's no trade opportunity. Mata and Brock, the ladder hiding inside the cove now. It's getting tight. Brock's going to make a swing off this end for NRG. Feels like they've done that 1,000 times.
Just the perfect timing on that double swing to close it out. Taking it back to basics with a full A execute. But when it's NRG doing that, all the timings are perfect. The util is placed exactly where it needs to be. Recon not broken, and then the second we saw that from the defender's point of view, but Brock swinging between the pyramids, pop flash over top from Ethan.
Good job, guys.
Seeing exactly why he loves to pick up the KO.
It's a pretty risky commitment for NRG, who actually lost their first buy round and went for it anyway. I think Ethan's got them interested, Wyatt.
That flash over top is nice. Ethan knows he just needs to get the hell out of there.
Elsewhere, NRG have a double face for an elbow push-up. And Kiko is working this pretty diligently.
The outlaw abuse has been crazy, but he picks it up on another great round. Look at the armor for Envy.
It's perfect.
125. Everybody.
Ethan again rattles the cage. This
Hate to
time,
be nice.
taking an orb. There's no B anchoring presence here for Envy. This could force him into a retake, but against the bloody bulldog from elbow for Rossi.
There goes your harbor. There goes safe passage into a site. Crossover on B. Oh my god!
Okay. We talked about it. Perfect round for the outlaw. Perfect application of it.
Spike planted.
Okay, all right. Gio, please, please. They're basically already dead. Oh yeah, hand it over. Glyph is having none of it. Absolutely none of it, bro.
Does Kiko hunt? He's on the way. He wants the ace.
Watch Brock throw the recon in just to see if he can light Glyph up. Warmer. Warmer. Oh, okay. Still, it's a weapon that Glyph cannot carry out of the round, and the economy is getting dire for Envy as NRG get ever closer to the Magic 13.
It was always going to be so dangerous on the side swap, just to kind of be Envy generally, because the attack side is where we saw NRG make the crazy comeback. They go to attack and win 11 rounds against MIBR to overcome the 210 scoreline at half. NRG already with the advantage, get to their better side.
Bonkar not beating the evil mastermind allegations with that one. Sorry, mate. This is the rise of Guru. Great movie, by the way. Rossi trying to play up on the corner here with what looks like a classic. Bandit at best here. Demon 1 able to fell Kiko, but caught up on the side inside a snakebite and dropped very low. Most of the damage done by the Viper.
You know, Sideshow hated that film, but he's tripping. He doesn't understand cinema.
I just love...
He does not understand cinema.
Who was it that suggested Sideshow watch that movie?
Planted.
Was it you?
Yeah.
That's so based. He took it very seriously that you wasted 90 minutes of his time. I, for one, thought it was phenomenal. Kesnet has a Vandal to hand, but that's really all Envy have to hang their hats on.
Oh my god. That was pretty close. There's a nice one from Kesnet. Might catch on to Brock too as I'm stuck behind the box. What a shot.
Yeah, man, Brock was not ready for that whatsoever. Here, those Scuba.
Oh
If you
my
can play
god.
this, Kesnet's found 3 already.
Enemy remaining.
Okay, that's dirty. Tap. Scuba. Oh my goodness. Time, though, is just not there for Kesnet, and he knows it. Still. Nice to see that the exact same aim, confidence that gained those accolades for Kesnet is still present.
Yeah, that is the old Kesnet shooting right there.
Unfortunately, it might have come a little bit too late in this breeze. And honestly, more broadly, talent isn't Envy's biggest issue at all. It's time. They've still got play-ins to address. If they can try to put together some semblance of a system running into that, then hey, who knows what we might see. We know what Kesnet has done before.
You know, ultimately though, hey, we're looking at the map pool. This is NRG's pick.
Yep.
We're heading over to Haven next, which Envy have played a lot more. I think we have seen some good signs on this map. We saw some good rounds on this map. So if they play one where they feel like the coordination is just tighter because it's simply a better map for them, then Okay. Maybe we see Envy keeping the game a little bit closer, testing NRG even more. This A site is wide open right now. Ethan making his way in off that null command. Hunter Sphere coming through as well. Envy have circumvented it. Now they're trying to get back in.
That fragment over the double door is huge there from Ethan Wyatt. In that one moment, Envy have stopped in their tracks.
Pit right into double doors.
It's extremely rude. Cosmic Divide, they're being thrown out by Envy. They want to try and play around this. Kiko forced him a bit of an awkward spot there. The relay bolt actually knocked him out into the open. Marta down. Hunter's Fury now getting good value. Envy have the tools to dig NRG out. But the pit is still an issue. Okay, Brawl trying to play to the other side of that wall. Glyph has fallen, and now we're even in numbers. Cosmic Divide's about to come down, and Scuba's going to hear Kesnit now. Tap. They don't know he's there. They have no information. The wall working against Envy. As Rossi in the 1v2 has to salvage a difficult map for Envy, to put it nicely. And there's just no time. Half-hearted the attempt was. And NRG lock it up 13-6.
Yeah, they just get the exact result they're hoping for on their map pick. A consistent one for them in this stage. They don't need to come back this time. They just maintain the lead. They were hoping for another day in the office here on Breeze, and that is exactly what they get. Some classic Ethan KO gameplay, topping the board with 19 kills and 5 first bloods, which is just ridiculous, but that is his best agent, and he is the best in the world on it.
That did feel like a very honest punch-in, punch-out map of Valorant from NRG. I'm interested, though, going under Haven, because there were some bright spots here for Envy. Knights is still looking fantastic, playing off Kesnit's utility pretty effectively. Kesnit shooting, Demon 1 also having his moment, so can they put something together for us and make a series of this? Only time will tell.
One enemy.
Clock in, clock out, get to 4-0. They've got a doubleheader this weekend.
It's the kind of match where you want your baseline to be good enough to be 13-6 against an opponent like Envy. This is Envy's map pick. And we're liking what we're seeing from the Kesnit and Knights link-up in this series.
This is Envy trying to prove that they can be even more coordinated, display even better team play on the map pick of their own, a haven that they love to go to. Kesnit. Bolt for bolt, everyone's stunned up.
Okay, this is going to be a straight flood out onto the C side, no split potential now. And it's worked out pretty well. Glyph and Kesnit touchdown beautifully, and Demon 1 actually gets left as the insert here in Garage. Finds the timing to disrupt it, now forces Brock awkwardly to sidestep away.
Envy have that 65% pistol round win rate we were happy about and praising on the second half of Breeze. They've got it dwindling. Envy with a really nice, just fast collapse into that C site.
One of the brightest spots on Breeze was that bonus round conversion we saw from Envy after winning the pistol. That would be a phenomenal way to get started on this map.
Recon there is huge, and then just hearing the teleport from Kiko goes back towards Plat. Kesnit wastes zero time, just pouncing on that free kill opportunity.
Everything about that round screams the pace is too much for us from NRG.
Yeah, you really want to see a lot of involvement from Kesnit here. Definitely moments on attack on the last map where NRG just excelled at shutting him down right as the hits were coming in.
That was Ethan chancing for the ult orb there. Not the result he was hoping for.
I've definitely got my eyes on this Ethan Phoenix. NRG are not the double duelist. They never have been. But double duelist has just been the meta
Mandated.
Of 2026 Valorant. Yeah, on some of these maps you just cannot escape the need for it. This is one of them in the pool. And so we saw NRG try during EWC. They had the reverse where Ethan was playing a little bit of Neon. You had Mata playing some Phoenix.
The new KFC world famous original recipe tenders. Dip it in your favorite sauces. Order KFC tenders today.
And then they flipped it back. Mata has just gone on the Neon, which he has played a ton of this year. And what's so impressive is that despite these roles being unnatural for the NRG unit, they still beat Lev on this map. I think that's just crazy. It's a testament to how good this team is just at a base level.
I like this from Envy because both back left of the site, close right, they're cleared with util. They ping logs, which is the only gap in that setup, so they're mindful of it. We saw Envy run up on that B side round after round after round on Breeze in that last map. Kind of hoping we see that again here. This C split has potential. We've seen them already favor this side of the map.
Oh, NRG decided at the very last second, maybe we can get some damage off. They get 2 kills, but Envy only brought 3 guns into the round, so no worries for them.
What is this? Okay, this buy is diabolical from NRG. You can't be serious.
Yep, they touched on this last week that Brock was telling Mata he thinks he should pick up the Odin on the Neon, so they have been running the double Odin, and it did work against Lev.
Oh my god. Okay. Glyph completely unprepared for the barrage of bullets coming his way.
Okay. Order has been restored by Kesna. You love to see that as an honest Valorant player.
He's trying to get through though here towards back garage, and that's going to be held solid though by NRG. So there's no split potential here again. And Scuba stuck in the corner. I feel like I saw this a couple of times on Breeze, if I'm honest with you. And both Odins ceremoniously carted out of the round.
The setup for NRG there is just perfect at mulching the C-split. Having Scuba in that smoke, already players rushing to assist through garage, backside, all that noise gets Scuba a free little moment to step out. And Envy absolutely denied of
Alright, they already have a node.
repeating some of that bonus round success from Breeze.
Yeah, it feels like we might. I'd be surprised if we saw another C-split attempt for the time being.
At least Knights can heal himself.
Do you know
But
what?
he'll only be up to 100.
I don't think Envy saw the other Odin in that previous round. See how much that actually ends up mattering? That Brock was not detected in round 3.
Yeah, I would imagine they just expect it by virtue of watching the Lev game.
Or by
the
it being Brock.
NRG approach, that there's going to be 2 of them.
Go, go, go.
Okay.
Real shot there.
Rendezvous.
I got spiked.
Outside of that, though, no real inroads have been made yet for Envy, but there are a couple of lanes here that are open for it. One of them's already been found. That's a creep up by Glyph into sewer.
And at this point, I would just, of course, love to allot some time for Demon 1 to... Oh my god.
Okay. We saw an extremity there. Marta aware of it, slides it out with the Odin and finds Demon 1. Now, though, the C hit accelerating. Stunned up is Scuba, and Keston knows exactly where to find him within the smoke. Oh no, Marta with the Odin in the side already, though. This is dangerous! You can't be letting him do it, man! Spike drop back corner, Marta with the overdrive. Makes a beeline for Knights.
You know, I feel like I haven't seen a Mata ace for a bit, but last year, where he was like leading the league in aces, breaking records for aces in his first season.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, like
That was just his thing.
multiple aces per series type thing from him.
Won't be happening here, though. Glyph just wants to save this operator. And NRG would like to hold on to these weapons. The economy is not off the ground floor yet.
Yeah, worrying signs for Envy losing that round. Never really get going. NRG lock in pretty quickly, shut down the bonus, and after the fact, Envy are going to be scrabbling for spare change.
You know, despite this moment where, yeah, Mata gets that first pick, Envy have a great response to get into C. Again, a moment where the Kesnet Neon is getting some good entry value with that bolt into the smoke, catches Scuba. Envy are putting themselves into a winning position on the round, but the Mata star power just comes through with the Odin, the dishonest approach to Valorant, and it works.
I mean, if you haven't given NRG a reason to play honest against you, then expect it. You've got to get to a threshold to earn this team's respect first. And it comes at a high price. Demon 1 walks out of the smoke there. Kiko chooses this moment to clap on in. And that was an op carried into the round here for Envy, quickly clattering to the ground.
Watch out.
One enemy remaining.
And you're looking at NRG here, just thinking about like how many different options, how many variations they actually could with where they put the personnel on this team in terms of trying to run this comp. Like you could have Kiko playing the Phoenix, try to get someone else on the Chamber, like Scuba on the Chamber. It's not an agent he hasn't played in the past. He's actually done it quite a bit, right? So that's an option. You could have Scuba on the Sentinel and then get Ethan back on the Omen. You could have Kiko play controller, which he was doing at the beginning of it. Like, there are ways that they could try to swap this around, but it feels like they have maybe landed on the right solution. And despite Ethan not having a great Phoenix game against Liv, it didn't matter. He only put up 11 kills, but the rest of the team were just so effective that they got it over the finish line. So it feels like if he continues to grow in this role, that NRG should just be getting better and better on this map if they're going to just commit to Ethan playing Phoenix.
I think a round 6 without a timeout is really interesting.
God.
Stunner must feel like the answer here is pretty elementary. Sort of not calling a timeout for this gun round, right? It's a pretty big investment. Knights are going to fight his way into the side. It's a good start, but eventually he's going to be knocked out of ult. Scuba tucked in the corner. Paranoia, nobody hit, but he's going to quickly TP across the side. Cliff just can't quite get out, and that is the spike left in his wake. It's on the better side of the blaze wall, but that position there for Ethan to dive on in just to check it is going to make it impossible to recover this spike without more bloodshed. Which is kind of what the game's about, so that's fine, but it's in the open.
Knights has got one flash. Does connect onto Kiko.
He's committed to this, though. Oh, you're back away behind the blaze wall. Okay, that is actually NRG's.
Yeah, that's pretty useful for Envy. They're trying to get the hell out of there. Ethan spots on the cross, no damage.
Good discipline.
Exchanged. What is the timing going to be here as Envy are trying to get into this A side as fast as possible? No utility left for Knights. Scuba doesn't want to pounce on this opportunity alone. No, he does. What a timing.
Doesn't want to show himself. TP down, fakes the TP down into the smoke. Knights is not convinced, though. He's not sold. Oh, just the line being held there by Kiko. That is phenomenal stuff here from NRG.
Running into this NRG look is a nightmare. You're playing against double Odin and the Chamber opping. That is brutal. The last setup you want to play against on any map. Yeah, it just starts with Brock on a crazy spam. I mean, Rossi can only shake his head.
I'm glad Bonker's enjoying himself.
But yeah, like you touched on, you know, the Envy coach not taking a timeout there, but there was a set game plan from Envy, so we heard it being called, just like we heard, which was this double alt exec into the C site.
And again, like around like this, okay, you just still going to force up into it, right? You're going to play around the overdrive for Kedsnick, get rifles in the hands of everyone else. You've got a Hunter's Fury as well to try and pave the way in.
C site has both Odins. This could be so sad for the Envy duels.
It's good. It's all good. See, Marta's got to go. He's got to leave.
There's a lot of util expended here from Envy, and they're not really able to make any headway into that site. But as long as they've dragged enough rotates, maybe the rest of the team can get elsewhere, but then you're just walking into this Kiko op. The setups are just so good for NRG. It's a brick wall.
Rossi did abuse the reload timer to get into that B side and catch Ethan off, though.
That needed to be a kill for Knights.
Oh, he shows himself. Kiko knows that Rossi was in the side, of course, from earlier. And he's waiting for him. Nice from Knights, though. Gets inserted up here in the window. And now it's all on Marta. Great pivot. Envy here over towards this C side of the map. It was more lightly held, but it was Knights getting in the garage. They're really turning this around.
There we go. We were seeing a lot of moments like that from Knights against Furia. The important multi-kills in the moments in the round that could just turn them on their head. That is one of them. Perfect flash timing out of garage. As Rossi is just isolated in that site, they need someone to step up. And it is Knights who has just found so much confidence on stage.
Just none of that shakiness we saw in his debut at all. Envy might just have enough time to get him properly integrated before play-ins.
control towards long is fast for Envy. Would love to get the orb in the hands of Knights, but anytime you tap an orb against this comp, you are potentially just getting lasered by the Odin spam. It is super dangerous.
That mid walk up we saw from Ethan, though, could be massive, Wyatt. If there's a cancel called here by Envy, they're running straight back into him.
Envy will be happy to have gotten that relay bolt out, though.
Marta can really punish this corner off Scuba's contact. Slide out with the... Oh my goodness! Yeah, Knights is down. That'll happen in the blink of an eye. And there's no way you're going back. You are fully committed. Look at Envy. Yes, there's time in the round, but look at where NRG is set up. It's just too easy. And now Envy have realized that they are stuck. It is only the W key for them as they head on towards this A side of the map. They're on a clock as well. There could be encroachment from that flank angle, so they got to go and they run straight into the meat grinder. Rossi being riddled with bullets from within that smoke. And that is a really brutal round to watch.
Marta is just the difference maker right now.
I got to see that early kill. That was... Sorry.
It's just ridiculous. Kiko has had so many nice kind of mid-round picks with this op as well, just controlling crucial parts of the map, gets all that space behind them. Yeah, this is going to force the Envy timeout to come through. Sunner has seen enough, needs to be involved.
I mean, in fairness, what we saw from Marta there, it's pretty hard to replicate. You're not guaranteed to see that round after round, but here's, of course, Knights.
So maybe that can be the case here against an NRG who are just abusing the Odin to the maximum and finding so much value with it.
Their seaside protocols are really good, but that's the only site we've seen them find any success so far.
Flash shot from Knights in case the operator was there. Want to get that off the line straight away and post up Demon 1 on it.
Ethan's threatening the mid-lurk. Wyatt, it's in progress. And he's found a window to get right on up here by window. Knights, though, is kind of wise to it, and this Owl drone is likely going to check. Not for Ethan's spot, though. It's a free kill. Yeah, Kesnet was dead before he even hit the ground. Blazewall's going to let Ethan correct this position now. Took a bit of damage, but nothing to write home about as he gets that residual healing from his own wall.
Now Envy are lacking that critical piece of the puzzle, which is someone to get deep into the site on this execute if it's being hard held by NRG. But perhaps that won't be the case. You have Demon 1 getting into the site. That trip is broken. It's going to come down to a full retake. But Envy have so many ults to work with. They could make this happen. Knights early on wants to find a pick, but is denied straight away. Ethan is just sharp on the angle.
But look at the positioning here for Glyph. He's moved back down into sewer, so the Hunter's Fury is going to be online from a safe position.
I'm out of here.
This is a tough site to retake into, but this is NRG we're talking about. If anyone can figure this out, it's them, but that's a nice open here from Demon 1. Kiko Fulham on the wayside, but Marta and Brook are sliding on in. Threatening here to upend the round for Envy. And Brock's already dropped down. Time that was not on their side. The double face, though, works out for them, and Glyph has to play off this somehow, but Hunter's Fury has already been used. He's got the shock darts, but his body's all over the place. But no body block. That's Brock down, and Scuba doesn't have any time. Envy had to spend everything on that round, but they notch another one up.
And that was always going to be their intention, use every tool that they've got to be able to get that fourth round on the board. Despite being that man down, they get access to the free site. Some important kills come in from Knights and Demon 1. I mean, man, if Demon 1 got that kill a little bit closer up and gets the slow on the ground and the choke, that would have been brutal.
But I want to point out that that was a very, very down-to-the-wire round in which NRG are playing from one of the most difficult positions in the entire game, which is that retake onto A.
This whole time, the money has been out of control for NRG. They've always got the op. They always got the Odin. And on this round, they want to mix it up with this early ultimate from Ethan. That is not going to get any value, though. But at least, you know, a bit off that aggression, off that distraction. Mata has worked his way up A long. You have Kiko posted up with the op very deep on C. Can control that line and just teleport away to safety if he needs to.
Ethan's certainly going to be revealed here. Blaze, although, might get him out to safety, or it might allow him to continue to fight for this space. This C extremely hold for Kiko. He can fall back off this, of course, with a rendezvous.
Right here.
But that's not the plan for Envy.
2 ults from NRG already used in this round before an exec has even been attempted by Envy. I mean, even in an attempt to get out of their spawn, they're just still stuck all the way back.
That's fine, as long as the acceleration is there and the execution makes sense. Kiko didn't even see it even one there, but he is waiting for him on the line. This doesn't change their plan. They are still committed to this B hit.
Wow, that wall through garage sold some good presence towards C. You saw the rotation come in from Brock. Isn't there to try to get a spam kill on B, nothing like that.
NRG are in awful positions right now.
The shock.
Didn't stop the plant though. Ethan showing a bit of barrel. Spots Demon 1 now. Tough fight to take as Demon 1 is scarred up slightly and misses an important shot. Ethan's able to slip away and bring that Phoenix in to fight for this B space. It's going to be a question of time, though. Already a bit of noise being made, and Knights and Kesnet lock it down. The duelist duo for Envy looks sublime, and even the Odin can't bail NRG out.
And that's what I'd love to see from Envy once they've gotten Knights onto this second duelist role. The moments where Kesnet is getting some of that help. I feel like in the first few weeks, there were so many moments where we were seeing Kesnet far forward ahead of the pack. No one was there to give him that assistance. But in a moment like this, you have both of them fighting together. Knights is ready to swing off Kesnet. Even if he loses that second duel, Knights will get that kill, and they'll be able to close things out anyway. They are on the same page, and that is what Envy have desperately needed.
We're seeing it for the first time, it feels.
The guys synced up, the fundamentals looking better.
You can see how much the win last week meant to Kesnet, someone who had been very honest about how much he'd struggled emotionally over the last couple of weeks. Feeling that pressure to perform, that burden to try and do the most for this team.
This round is so crucial for Envy. NRG investing 2 ults on the previous. They go back into this full buy again with the AWP, with the Odin. If they lose this one, the economy's not going to be in a great spot for the first time. It'll have gone down significantly.
Back at the A site. Envy trying to force a full retake, but NRG have left Kiko in the site.
They're trying to sell some presence towards A, maybe hoping someone would push out a B, push out towards garage, and they could find a pick. They just want to get into this B side again, but they are being stalled out. What is the end game? Is it to get back to A? Kiko is here.
Oh, that would have been another big one for Demon 1 to have won, but Kiko has to give up that space he had in A. NRG, they're ready to fight for this instantly. Kesnet, though, it's more than just the sell. Now Envy are fully committed to this side. Knights on the fallback here, gets Mata, and he'll get out with the spike with time. It's going to be tough. Rossi trying to contain him inside. That's massive. 2 big kills here for Rossi, and he can hold NRG at bay. Meanwhile, though, where's the spike supposed to be going?
Last player standing.
I don't know what the plan was supposed to be here for Knights, but he doesn't have time to plant it.
Yeah, unfortunately, all the ideas of that round from Envy just kind of get thrown out the window. Trying to get the fake towards A and then working on the B site, but they get mollied off, they're denied, and in the chaos, they're just not able to get back on the same page. And you see an NRG that have one goal in mind, which is all together flooding into that A site.
It's just
kind of those loose ends of Envy get picked off while they're trying to reconvene, trying to do something together, but just unable to.
If those picks off Rossi come a little earlier, if Knights has a little bit more time to get to B, that round could look completely different. You can't be wasting your time thinking about what could have been, but that one stings. Last round of the half here, and NRG are rewarded for that big investment in round 11. (3-2-1) swing being called here, but Kiko's going to get his pick off the rip and still have Heaven presence. That's a pretty audacious re-swing. Into the site, we have the Phoenix. So Ethan's happy to fight for this space, and he got rid of Knights there inside that ultimate, knocked him straight back to the site where he is easily dispatched. And it's a deflated Envy walking out of the half after showing us some real quality, some genuinely good rounds. That's a 2-round game after 12.
Yeah, they began to turn it around, bringing it to 5-all, but unfortunately, the round after that, round 11, where they really just fall into a chaotic situation. They can't get on the same page. They lose that brutal one. That could have been the round that got them 2-7-5. Realistically, could have been in the lead if they were able to close that one out and display a little bit of better team play.
You know what they say, Wyatt? It's the hope that kills you. Let's see if Envy have some headspace enough to regain parity and perhaps even a lead on our second half of Haven after this.
Here, goal for NRG, clock in, clock out, get their 4th win of this stage, and try to run it into a flawless. But for Envy, I think it's just showing progress, showing a competitive level against one of the best teams in the world. That means something in of itself.
This game is less about standings and more about trajectory. And hey, Envy and these pistols have been pretty bloody good. Straight exchange though, and Demon 1 takes some damage.
That would have been the one shot, but hard to hit Mata with the speed. Now off all that noise, Ethan, Kiko just have a sense that they can get into this C site for free and will be positioned for the 4-on-4 retake, but Mata is immediately caught in garage. No one can assist. Do Envy want to accelerate this pace? No, just slow things down. Look at Glyph on the south side of the map. They want to give him an opportunity to be able to get in the mix when the retake comes in fully.
Oh, it's planted backside. Okay, that makes it awkward here. NRG read into the C-long play. And now they're aware the Glyph is encroaching. But at the same time, Envy is starting to work their way in from the backside. Recon thrown out. That's a pretty good shock down to the back corner. But Kiko is going to be able to get away from it. It doesn't matter. Demon 1 and Rossi both strike, pincering that C side. And another pistol comes out for Envy.
I think we saw some good play from both teams there in that post plant. You have NRG, a man down, they flip the site, they get in that smoke, they play to their win con, which is catching a timing off of an Ethan flash to fight into spawn, but Envy are able to dodge that out, and then when that's happening, Glyph knows it's time to work up long, but he doesn't overplay his hand either. We've seen Glyph, like a pretty intelligent, high game sense player. He just tucks back, stays alive, is throwing out the recon, a bit of util coming NRG's way, and then Envy get back in together. I think, honestly, some good decisions from both teams. Ultimately, it's Envy with the numbers, though, who are able to swarm onto NRG and close that out.
That NRG pistol round win rate has been slaughtered in this game.
It's Envy are, at least on the pistols, they're up 3-1. They've got NRG's number.
Bye-bye.
How can Envy glean on a round like this? No chance to recover Kesnet's weapon there. NRG actually fighting their way inside garage. If we look at side presence now, this is a little bit too early there for Demon 1, but luckily for him, Rossi was there with the Bulldog. Otherwise, that could have gone very differently.
Brock with the recovered judge is going to at least get his. Kesnet, maybe a little bit too excited to go hunting for the eco kills, but you know, when it comes to Kesnet, I think
Bro, whatever it takes.
I'd rather see him lose from being too aggressive than lose from losing his confidence and playing too passive. Kesnet is a off-the-server emotional guy, but on the server as well. When it comes to the competition, he can be emotion-driven. When everything is going his way, a relentless player. Honestly, when things start to slip, sometimes it's hard for him to bounce back. So, you know, I want to see him keep his foot on the gas.
It feels like there's always a sense of inertia with Kesnet.
Yeah, with
Kesnet. It can be hard to stop when he gets rolling.
And that's kind of generally like how Crew used to be when he was on that team. It felt like it carried over to all 5. I mean, at the beginning of the series, we were talking about how Kesnet and that team went on the LCQ run in 2023 to make it to champs after being 0-9 in the stage. You know, feels like there's going to be a parallel to draw here. But that is the perfect display of what we're talking about, what kind of encapsulates him as a player.
something I'm looking at pretty closely in this half is something that Sunnis said back on Breeze. He said the communication is good, the listening is not. Now, if you want to be a pedant, listening is part of communication. But the point is that there's plenty of ideas being thrown around. People are not afraid to speak up and give input. It's reacting to that information or passing it that Envy are still working on.
Envy are laying a little bonus round trap here where Demon 1 is going to be taking that contact for Knights, takes a shot, teleports away, and then flash out to try and get a pick. It is a very light bonus round look for Envy. Demon 1 with a lot of the cash reserves, just wants to get an operator when we actually get to the gun rounds.
All right, Travis gets sprung here, and Envy come up with nothing. Brock's going to be waiting for them. I love this little insertion up hit though by Kesden, and he's asking for more. They are not ready for this. Nice little double down with the Bulldog, and already a lot of value being obtained, considering the minimal investment in this round for Envy. And even Rossi's got a corner, but Scuba spots him out. And there's no way Brock's going to back it up unless it's for a double swing. This is a nice push-off for Glyph.
Yeah, what a catch. Just with the Sheriff. Doesn't even connect the headshot, but he's able to find that kill.
And they're able to negate Kiko's attempt at a wraparound here by linking up and working their way back to C now.
Because of those kills that Kesnet found, there's guns on the ground to be recovered.
Dangerous. Very dangerous, Kiko! Brock is healthy enough for this, though. Whereas Envy are looking haggard. Push ahead of this. Drone! It's through the masonry. Some free damage. Glyph and Rossi both low. Brock, though, mindful he's playing into a 1v2. He's heard the footsteps, and it's an easy splay transfer to deal with Glyph. Rossi behind the side. Tough to win these! Brock doesn't even see him. 4K Red Bull clutch for your 2025 MVP.
You never want to be up against the guy with the Odin at the low HP, but respect to Envy for keeping that a close round. I mean, after we're discussing Kesnet trying to keep up that aggression, well, here's one where he just straight up runs through the wall and is able to catch a second pick because of it onto Ethan.
Inject that into my veins. That is great to see from Envy, and also definitely threw NRG off.
Round loss for Envy, but they brought what into it?
Three Bulldogs.
Yeah, Sheriff, Headhunter for Demon 1. And now they've got the NRG economy reeling to the extent that Bonkar wants to get some involvement with the team. This is a crucial round. They can't afford to lose it.
And see, a dangerous game here for NRG. Bonkar saying as well, Envy
actually do some damage in the play-ins.
The fact of the matter is they are going to be tested, likely, against some of our up-and-coming Challengers prospects. And there are a couple of players from America's Challengers that have a score to settle.
All right.
Let's listen in now to NRG as they hit the seaside.
There's full retake.
I'm always spawn when they retake.
I'm getting spawned.
I'm gonna play close. I'll play close.
Fake. They're waving.
Care garage block. They have dark. Someone feather. Someone feather. Okay.
Wait, flanking.
I think
Never mind. One garage.
Might have to be you, Skew. It might have to be you. I can't feather.
I'm with you, Ethan.
Trying to garage.
Yeah, it's one. They got stun. Wait for it. Spawn this.
They're heavy spawn.
Yeah,
Heavy
spawn.
spawn.
3,
Go.
2, 1. One on the right.
I have garage.
6.
I'm off your garage.
Phoenix flashing. Phoenix flashing. Blend.
Close, 3.
Last player standing.
Nice try.
That's fine.
Not only do NRG lose around in stunning fashion, they sound uncomfortable. They sound nervous.
Wow, what a retake from Envy, though. I'm so impressed by... We saw this on the pistol round, and we saw it here again. When NRG are trying to get proactive in some way after getting the spike down, Envy have been able to circumvent that and then go right back into them. They mostly dodge out the Ethan flash. Yeah, it picks up Kesnet, but he gets a spam kill, is able to tuck away, can't get traded on. And you just see from Ethan's point of view, every Envy player tucked. As soon as they hear Ethan backing up, they take advantage of it. They're immediately in off the Knight's flash. Kesnet's taking advantage of it with the overdrive.
That round felt definitive for so many reasons. Not just the fact that it came after a timeout, that it was a full retake on the C side. Envy looking good. And they're looking good against one of the best to do it.
Brock had the extra money coming into this round. He throws a Vandal into the hands of Kiko.
That's punishing. Now that individual skill metric there for Kiko off the charts. Now can NRG land the plane with these awkward weapons? Marta burning down inside the molly.
Yeah, it's such low HP. That one does him in. Almost could have died to the wall. Ethan can't get anything done with the run it back. Envy are playing safe, wanting to deny that as cleanly as they can. Knights getting back into this site.
This blaze wall separating Ethan and Knights. Knights with a better reaction now. Flash always looking to refind into that space. What a retake! Cool, calm, and collected. Envy will batter NRG back off that site.
I feel like even in that early round play, this is just a different Envy that we're seeing, that they've got some layers into this round, that they are willing to try to go for this trap play fight out of long. The hero rifle of Kiko gets NRG in an advantageous situation, but they're still able to wrangle it back. You've got Knights versus Ethan and Hell, the most experienced player in this server versus the least, but Knights has got the aim, he's got the mechanics to deal with him in the 1v1, and then Envy, they're just flooding back in. Playing so much more together than we've ever seen. NRG are back to this fast C well. They get the site again. Rossi is out of there. Envy's retakes here have been stunning. We think of that last gun round, doing another pistol round as well.
They were about to see the best part of Envy's game on this defense side be tested again. Have NRG made the little adaptations? Blaze Wall, he's going to make this complicated. Kiko has got a really wide flank.
The new KFC world famous original recipe tenders. Dip it in your favorite sauces. Order KFC tenders today.
Is he going to be a factor? He is trying to get there as fast as possible. Envy, they're making their way in.
I think he's going to be there in time, but will it be quick enough? Kesnet, dangerous into the back of the side. Marta didn't know what hit him. Brook playing off this, trying to buy some time, but Kiko's going to have his hands a little too full, I wager. Brook and Scuba also the chime on in. That was the fuser taken down. Dima 1 has to drop onto the side itself with nothing but an op to defend himself. This time NRG fall off the seaside. And Kiko has a timely reflank.
That is the kind of adjustment from NRG that lets you know they're in that world class. I feel like we see this from them a lot. They'll run and execute, and they'll immediately understand without a timeout why it went wrong, and then they'll make that adjustment. This time, planting where Kiko can get the spam. He's there on that super long flank. All right, let's add a different layer, and it works out for them.
Does that work without the Kiko late flank, though?
No, I mean, that's the difference. That's what they insert to completely change the situation. It's what they were lacking before. It's just what makes NRG a top-tier team in the world, one of the most consistent teams in the world. Not everyone has the wherewithal to be able to fix things in the moment like that.
Oh, this is the trap set for Demon 1. There's no way he's getting away. And that was, of course, with Rendezvous active and usable.
Now, NRG are not inclined to fully commit to this A side.
Rossi's got some space, but is he asking for too much here? This is so aggressive. Gets a kill, sure. But Envy are getting spread more and more thinly across the map. Again.
It gets that catch, but the trade is instant.
And they don't favor the defenders here.
This would have to be an incredible moment from Knights. Gotta believe he can pull it off. What a timing from Glyph. Just catches Kiko on the jump. Doesn't have help from the other NRG players. They are stalled out.
The util from Knights made it impossible for NRG to actually do anything about that pick on Kiko. He was too far ahead in that context. We are even on players now. 33 seconds, ample time for a spike plant. And Envy simply don't have the information. Glyph has a Hunter's Fury. And of course that recon has come back online. So getting an early read on this situation is going to be crucial for Knights to dig NRG out. Oh, that's a good opener.
Gets the dink on the Knights, but it'll be able to heal off of that wall.
Can Brock clutch with that? No. We've seen it before. He's going to hear this as well. Oh, he splits up the 2v1. Now waiting for Knights to come his way.
Don't worry.
That one, folks, could have gone either way, but yet another clutch moment powered by Red Bull for your boy Brock.
Just one of the best in those situations. Somehow in those always has the shock darts ready too. So he's won out so many of those just throwing out the util. Envy try to, again, vary the aggression that they're going for on defense, that time pushing Demon 1 through the smoke, but you just knew he was cooked when we're on his point of view. There are too many players from NRG on that side of the map.
This damn team does not make the same mistake twice, do they?
You want to play? Let's play.
Okay, Knights. Points for the idea. Despite economy being a little bit low, geez, 3 people getting affected by that. This is a really nice Hunter's Fury from Glyph.
Yeah, I love that response. Just maybe Knights even calling for it after seeing so many players, or just Glyph spotting it on the minimap. Regardless, that is the perfect response.
And they got the Sova player, importantly. This would be even better if Envy had an op player up on an extremity, but still good.
Envy are stacking up the right side here as Demon 1 is pushed out on the opposite side of the map.
I think Scuba got a glimpse of Glyph in this corner. They're going to try and clear this now. Molly doesn't quite catch on to Glyph. Paranoia maybe try to bail him out. No, it was in order to find that elimination. Marta onto the side. This is getting a little bit messy though, but NRG have that extra player to work with. Rossi in the corner. It's a decent spot, but he couldn't put the crossfire together with Kesnet, who only now emerges out to the open. Man, he's got no one to play off of, no one to work with. Alone in every sense. Not bad from Demon 1. But it's going to take a lot more than that to salvage this, and Kesnet knows he needs to find a quick double. Envy have to fight for this round. They invested into it. They cannot afford to let this fall by the wayside. But this is a situation we've seen Demon 1 in all too often this stage. Retaking across the map on a sentinel roll when the round is already lost.
Pivotal one goes the way of NRG. The Envy economy is in a tragic spot moving forward. They had the players on the site, but the execute from NRG just a little bit too good. This is an aspect of the game where maybe Envy still need a little bit of improvement. We've seen the retakes just be excellent, but a lot of times when they're anchoring these sites, I think we've seen this on their Haven previously as well, especially towards A. The players kind of struggle when they're getting dive. And Demon 1 can play with that Headhunter.
This is the round I think you invest with those.
So they've got some tools. They're not fully investing into this and going on the bad vibe, but they've got enough that they realistically could win this if their game plan works.
I think Kesnet needs to be pitched against Kiko this round. He's the only one with full armor. We saw what Kiko did on Breeze with that 4K that completely unraveled them.
God.
On his own, Demon 1 is controlling this C side of the map entirely. This has freed up Envy to stack the B side.
Oh, Envy, they want to fight out on B. Demon 1 spots one running away, and that's going to call Envy to get over towards this A site. Look at the space that Demon 1 has gotten. And the rest of Envy are on A.
They're going to double back, though. Demon 1, you think about it here. This coming, but there's the Headhunter.
Kiko is such low HP. It's just a body shot.
It's the worst person you want to be taking contact in that situation, but NRG are far from committed. They could be anywhere. They're bouncing across the map, and they've inserted Brook. Look how deep in A this guy is. How can he turn this into a useful spot?
They're going to call back to him. Scuba is going to play on his lonesome towards B. Can NRG still put the pieces together, divided across the map?
Scuba can catch the cross of the Phoenix here. Knights is going to be revealed. Is he ready for this? Oh, he thinks about it. The game sense was there, but he just didn't back himself.
It's going to be all on the shoulders of Kesnet here.
This Cosmic Divide doesn't do much. Hey, Ethan actually falls back to the safe side of it. Very quickly, Envy going to get into the side. Big damage on Ethan. Glyph, nicely done. The right clicks pay off, but Brook might be here yet again to bring the House of Cards down. It's always this guy. The one who snuffs out the last light of hope in the round for Envy.
Even when Envy do so much right, the individual skill is on full display from Demon 1. He gets them the 2. NRG are just able to climb out of these holes. They are always able to get themselves back into a winning position.
This is
crazy.
What 17 average maps on a team versus what, 63 looks like. series, rather. That's that difference in full display. You know, I'm going to be stunned up in that corner. Marta won't be checking it. Rossi there. Marta slides straight up into it.
Dodges out on the Hunter's Fury. Knights wants to respond with an ult of his own, running up towards mid.
Nothing to
Shouldn't be
see.
able to catch anyone. Yeah, no. But he doesn't expect that Ethan could be in this side. Takes a lot of damage from the Molly, but doesn't get gunned down by Demon 1. It's devolved into chaos, but NRG have worked the majority of their team into this A site. Spike down, no ults for Envy or NRG. It's going to come down to the gunplay.
Yeah, this gap certainly giving Brook some pause, but he always seems to be there. This game sense is just impossible to outfox this guy. Okay, Ethan on the position, try and catch that cross. Good opener there for Demon 1. Kick help is low, but now handled. Scuba in the smoke.
Enemy remaining.
That is pretty bloody good, isn't it? Not intending to get 2 plays, but he'll take it. It's all on Knights. The revelation here for this Envy squad. To try and put another real dent in this NRG team. Brook fully commits to it and is punished for it now, but Scuba can stop this defuse entirely. 5 players, 1 idea, and another decisive step towards playoffs for NRG.
In those latter rounds, we saw